I've never streamed before, so just bear with me. So what I was thinking was reacting to the trailer. So let me bump up the quality. Alrighty.
This is No Man's Sky version 4.0, the Waypoint update.
The new effects look incredible, guys. Look at that.
Across the universe. Custom game modes allow players to
And even the Atlas, they kind of refresh the whole graphics of this. I think it looks great.
Crafting, combat, accessibility, and controls.
Welcome to who just joined. I can't check the chat right now.
A new milestone system, new collectibles, and improved mission content brings new long-term goals and challenge.
Alright.
Inventories have been
Oh, the inventories. The dreaded inventories. A lot of people are not a fan of how they changed it. I'm just going to jump in for the first time to the update and check it out. We'll see what I think about it. A lot of people are not liking it. I like the log too. It looks really cool. Hundreds of quality of life improvements. We'll see about that. I don't know about you, but I feel like the graphics on the planets also looks kind of improved. I want to look at the patch notes real quick because I haven't had a chance to look at them thoroughly yet. The inventory from what I've seen is really messed up ship upgrades. Yeah, I think that now you can only do 3 upgrades in your tech and that the general doesn't exist anymore. So you only have the cargo slots, which only takes items and not technology. I had a feeling they were going to do this, but I didn't know that they were going to keep the limit at 3 and not expand it to 6, you know? Because right now, pretty much almost every single thing gets nerfed. So we'll have to see how that affects the meta overall and if they are going to change it back to 6 or if they're going to double down on that decision. No Man's Sky Waypoint. Access the universe of No Man's Sky from anywhere in Update 4.0 Waypoint, launching for the first time on Nintendo Switch and overhauling fundamental elements of the gameplay, including game modes, inventory size, and usability, milestones, journey cataloging, and much more. I think this update is way bigger than I ever expected, to be honest. Like, I thought it was going to be a few streamlining of the different elements I talked about, but it seems like it's more massive than I even imagined. Suffices, well, there's still time for patches. That's true, to fix the inventory. I think a big confusion is that people didn't realize that you could expand your tech inventory way bigger than you used to be able to, you know? Before it was like only like 3 rows of tech slots. And now it's going to be way more. I think it's up to 60. Let me confirm. I don't want to put words in Sean's mouth, but he tweeted out 60 tech slots and 120 cargo slots. I think that means in like your exosuit. So there's still room for tech. The only thing they have to do to keep it like it used to be, like on par with how it used to be, is make that limit 6 instead of 3 tech before it overloads. Alrighty. This is one of the features I was most excited to see. Custom game modes. Tailor every aspect of the game to your unique playstyle with custom game modes. Launch into action quickly with existing difficulty preset, or tinker with everything from economy to combat challenge to survival difficulty to perfect your experience. There's a lot of really in-depth options here. I didn't expect this many, to be honest. I expected there to be like 4 or 5, but they've pretty much gave you a slider for everything. I've seen a few people argue that this ruins the game for them because like, oh, what's the point of grinding if I could just get everything for free? But you could always do that, like in creative mode. And they're like, well, no, creative mode locks you into that, but now you could turn it on and off. But at a certain point, you're responsible for what you do in your game. If you want to switch to easy mode, relaxed mode, and go ham and just get everything for cheap, that's you, you know? No one's stopping you from doing that, but that doesn't take away from the effort that you put in. Like, you play the game to enjoy it yourself. You don't play for any arbitrary goal that you set, you know? That's just my opinion. I don't know if y'all think otherwise. Alrighty. Seamless autosaves. A continual new autosaving system allows you to fully immerse yourself in the journey without ever needing to think about saving your progress. Manual saves remain, giving you full control. The trade rocket looks pretty dope. I've seen it go into orbit and everything on people's videos. Let me go through this quick because I want to hop into the update. Oh god. Inventory visuals. I like the icons they're refreshed a little bit. They look a little bit cleaner. I know the labels aren't as big anymore, and some things aren't even labeled. For example, like creature pellets. Like if you haven't played this game, it's gonna be a little confusing because it's like, oh, get a resonator, and then you're like, what's the resonator? At least when it directs you to things with the tutorials, it shows you the icon, so it's not as hard to get used to as you'd think, you know? What is hard to get used to is what they did with the inventory. There's no tabs anymore. It's just all the cargo in general has been combined into cargo, and you can't put tech anywhere else but the tech inventory. Nintendo Switch, of course. I did mention I was going to stream from a Nintendo Switch, guys, but the update isn't even out on Nintendo Switch yet, and my pre-order kind of got delayed, so tonight I'm not going to be streaming on the Nintendo Switch, but I am going to be streaming from my PS5, which looks better anyways, so there's a new technology that they have with super sampling for AMD that works on any PC, which is actually kind of impressive, and I'm sure it's going to give better performance for a lot of people. I have to try this out on my PC because my PC has been struggling to play this game recently. Alrighty, this is a nice screenshot. An exclusive Nintendo Switch chip is really cute. Relax game mode. This was like the least popular option when I made a poll on my channel of what you look most forward to, and to be honest, like, I might try it out. I'm not going to try it out tonight, but I'm going to try it out to see because I've never really messed with creative that much, and I might like it better than creative, you know, because it doesn't just hand everything to you. Like, you could still customize it with those custom settings. The Switch rewards. The anomaly looks a lot better. I can't wait to hop into it. I'm not even going to dwell too much on everything because I want to go and see it. Drop pods. They made it so drop pods save their location if you need to go back to it when you get the materials. It's always been kind of weird that you have to go track down those materials and then you're like, oh, where was that drop pod? So they did that. That's pretty interesting. I think you don't have to put the drop pod coordinate data into the beacons anymore. I think you just use them and it directs you to the nearest drop pod. Inventory redesign. This is what has a lot of people a little bit controversially done because they pretty much segregated the inventories. Tech is the only place for tech and cargo is the only place for cargo, which helps with clarity because it's not apparently obvious. For someone who hasn't played No Man's Sky or hasn't played a lot of video games, it's kind of not intuitive to explain to them how the technology can be slotted into inventory and also tech. So I'm kind of glad for this change just for the new players, not necessarily for the players who've been playing for a while, for example like me, but it's going to take some getting used to, definitely. They added new effects for all of the different interactions, especially with the plaques and the monoliths. They look incredible. Look at this. Look at that. They've put a lot of work into this. I feel bad that some people want to criticize in a hateful way. I understand if you feel a certain way, you have the right to express it, but these people have been working for like 6 years non-stop just improving this game, and not everything is going to be for everybody, and you have the right to feel like hurt by the update, but I personally am excited to check it out. I can't pass judgment yet. Gray Cat. My old main inventory was like half full with technology. Yeah, since the way the update I guess works is that everything that was installed in your general inventory is now stored as a technology that you can install later. But that's if you're not already at the 3 technology limit. For example, like if you have like your shield upgrades, if you already have 3 in your tech, those ones that you had in your general, they're useless. Unless I would still keep them in a storage or something, because what if they increase it to 6? You never know. But also another thing is that people complain that you could be very overpowered in this game very easily, and that there's no challenge when you get to the end game. So this kind of levels that out, you know. It pulls us back a little bit from the edge, because when you have 6 shield modules on, there's no challenge when you're fighting Sentinels. Let's be real. So it's an interesting design choice to say the least. Story records. This is very, very cool that you could have logs of all the different lore and story that you've done so far. This will especially help people who like to focus on the lore for their videos. I know Kanaju is going to love this feature. I'm pretty sure he's already working on his video right now for tomorrow. And I think this feature was like literally made for Kanaju. Let's be real. It's incredible. It's a really helpful feature. Inventory filters. I kind of wish that these would filter everything to the top and move them, because right now it just highlights them and you still have to move your cursor further, you know, to get to things, but it's a step in the right direction. It is a step in the right direction. I would appreciate some sort of button that you could sort. You press sort and then everything gets into rows, you know, so it's not all randomly scattered like that. And I hope that they fix the bug where stacks don't go into existing stacks. We'll have to see. All right, crafting trees. I think when you're pinning a recipe, it shows you like the logical steps, multi-step process of making things, which I think it should be backwards. I think, shouldn't it be from top to bottom instead of from bottom to top? But anywho. Rare asteroids. This looks cool. Look at that. It has like a geode inside of it. This is interesting. I can't wait to see these. Milestone. I want to see the new milestones. This looks like it's the same ones that we had, but there's multiple tabs. I think there's survival milestones, and possibly the guilds and the races each give you milestones as well. We'll have to see that. The new graphics for the teleporters looks incredible. Ease of use. There's multiple different options that you can do. The maximum number of communication stations has been reduced because these are spammed all over the place on planets where community events happen. So I would have liked an option to just toggle them on and off, but it's a start. Reticle targeting for interactions and wiring is now more forgiving and less fiddly. I appreciate this as well. Yesterday on my stream, I was kind of struggling to build because I was looking at my output screen of my stream instead of my actual TV, and like the delay that I had plus that finicky cursor is definitely a thing. So I'm glad they fixed that. So survival mode is more hard, supposedly. Well, I'm gonna start a new survival save right now, and I'm gonna skip the tutorial and see how it goes. These are all the effects I was talking about, like holograms, the teleporter, fog. If you look at, like, there's fog and there's like little particle effects around the lights. Even on the entrance of the tractor beam of the space station. I can't wait to see that. Let's see, new guide and catalog. I want to check that out too. Look at how much stories there are in the knowledge. 1,412. That's how much lore they have. Lore snippets, at least. Alrighty. Fuel and utilities. What's this? So they combine catalog and guide into the same tab. That kind of condenses it. Medals for milestones look prettier. Cool. A bunch of quality of life. You scan faster with your analysis visor. Movement upgrades for Jetpack have been made more powerful. Now, we can only have 3 in our technology instead of 6, but they've buffed them, so hopefully that compensates. Procedurally generated technology modules now stack in inventory. Very nice. I hate having like half of my inventory full of these things. They have a place where you can see recipes for refining and for cooking. This is a godsend. We used to have to use apps to check out these things. New faction milestones. All right. You can pack technologies. Half of everyone's stuff is now in one of these packets because of all the general inventories deleted. Dramatic Atlas interfaces. You could rename your saves. People have been asking for this. I feel like I've been seeing people ask for it for like the past year, if not longer. Like, it's just, we have 15 slots for saves. It would be nice to be able to name them, so now you can. Not in Kansas. Yellow Brick Road. They have a theme going on here. The Wizard of Oz. Alright. I'm not going to read all these. I'm sure there's a lot of interesting stuff in here, but I might pick it apart later off stream and make a video. But I'm going to just hop right into the game.